Hi everyone. Back with another. I thought I'd do another UFO video here tonight. It's a little dark in here. I'm not feeling well. I'm in a lot of pain right now, so I'm just gonna keep it dark here for this video, and hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow. Um, I go through a lot of pain every single day. Right now, it's chronic neck and head pain, and upper back as well, and my arms, wrists, and hands. It's all flared up really bad, like right now in particular. So, but I still wanted to make another video, I guess, to close out the night. So we'll see how that goes. Um, all right. I wanted to do this next. Well, we'll see. We'll see how far I can get. This 1973. It's called the Great UFO Wave of 1973. In Ohio. So that's really interesting. I haven't read it yet, but I thought I'd wait to read it for my next video. Um, Let me look here. So there's like some brief. I don't know if there's like more detailed descriptions of these. Um, but I did want to go through them. Here's some, let's see what these are. The National Investigations Committee on Aerial Phenomena has compiled a comprehensive list of all major UFO sightings that took place in the world in 1973. Many occurred in the Midwest, especially in October. Some examples of sightings from the list in Ohio and nearby include the following. Fort Wayne, Indiana sightings, September 23rd and 24th. A woman turning into the grocery store in her car sees an object shaped like an ocean liner with a rounded back and flat bottom and top. Okay, it has 5 rows of throbbing yellow lights. Wow. An ocean liner. And the next night, 2 patrolmen in Fort Wayne see an object moving slowly across the sky. They contact the local airfield, which also reports seeing the unidentified object, but they are unable to identify it. I wonder if it's the same object. Here's Columbus, Ohio, September 30th. A Franklin County man claims to have discovered a landing site near his home after seeing a strange object in the sky. Claims to have discovered a landing site near his home after just seeing a strange object in the sky. Weeds at the alleged site are crushed to the ground in a semi-oval area 20 by 30 feet wide. The man says the object swooped down in a zigzag pattern I hear that a lot with UFOs, and I've seen them do that myself. Um, but I hear that a lot, like zigzag patterns and dropped below the trees. Wow. Imagine seeing that though. Like I've never seen a UFO descend like that. They've always remained in the air, or pretty high in the sky. The ones I've seen. There are several dozen sightings of strange objects in the sky reported in the area that night. Wonder what those were. That was Columbus, Ohio. Okay, here's Indiana and Illinois sightings, October 5th. There were 4 major UFO sightings in parts of eastern Indiana and one in Illinois on October 5th. Witnesses in each incident described seeing a hovering object with lights on it. It's like what my great grandma saw, a hovering object with lights on it. At 3 a.m., a woman in Ziegler, Illinois, thought she left her hall light on. When she got up to turn it off, she looked outside to see an object emitting high intensity light hovering near the back of her residence. Oh my God. The next day, she reported trouble with her vision. Oh. Not cool. A lot of these people would still be alive, wouldn't they? Like, all these people that have reported these stories and stuff, like a lot of them would still be alive. That's interesting, you know. At 6, because this was 73, so I mean, you know, at 6:15 that evening, a witness in Laurel, Indiana, used binoculars to view a house-sized object in the sky. A house-sized object. The bottom of the object had pale gray lines that divided it into 3 sections. The sighting lasted for 3 minutes. An hour later, the police department received about 100 calls after a loud buzzing sound was heard in the nearby town of Connorsville, Indiana. Note, Connorsville is located just south of Richmond near the Ohio border and was involved in numerous other sightings during this time period, possibly because it is home to a National Guard base. Calls were accompanied by reports of an unknown shape with red and white lights that hovered, jumped, and made fantastic low altitude passes over the city. Oh man. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Finally, between 8:15 p.m. at midnight in Waterloo, Indiana, people reported seeing a mushroom-shaped object sitting stationary in the sky. You see, like, what are these planes are not stationary. They don't do that, right? Like, this is the ones like the ones I saw, and it's so strange. But no plane can do that. No plane can just like stay stationary in the sky and then start taking off and like hovering and all this and that. Everything a plane does, this is like the complete opposite of what a plane does, basically. It had a flat bottom and a red flashing light on top. Hanging down under the object was what looked like long ropes. Oh my God. 2 witnesses said the object and the ropes were a gold glowing color. What? What it was this? It had a flat bottom. Wait. Okay. With a red flashing light on top. What could this have been? um, uh, Hanging down under the object with ropes? What the heck? That's a good one right there. People, but like, and there's multiple people that saw this. Oh my god. See, the ones where multiple people see something, you know that they're, it's fact based. It's, really happened. Whatever it was up there, it was that actually happened, as opposed to just one person. Um, Multiple people seeing it is more believable. Okay. Middletown, Ohio, October 7th. A giant white colored cigar shaped object with 5 discs following it and making no sound is reported flying over the city at 10 p.m. Like, wait a minute. Many people see it, and Wright Patterson receives a number of calls. Well, what is this? Cigar shaped object with discs following it. And there's no sound. See, that's another weird thing about these. Is it often there's like no sound. I've never heard any sound with mine at all. Man, these are crazy. These are bizarre. That's why I like reading about these. It's just um it's just they're fun to read about. Fort Wayne and Eaton, Indiana, October 9th. I'd like to hear from the people that saw that Middletown, Ohio giant cigar shaped thing. Imagine seeing something like that. You'd never forget that. Jesus. Military radar at nearby Bear Field in Fort Wayne, Indiana picks up an object, but officers are unable to contact the craft or determine what it is. Later in Eaton, I say that word funny. It's probably Eaton. Later in Eaton, an object is seen hovering above a canning factory and then moving in a counterclockwise sequence. The local police department receives about 200 calls about the object. Wow, okay. I wonder what it looked like. I wonder what the shape of that was. It was moving in a counterclockwise sequence. That's weird. Dayton, Ohio, October 10th and 11th. At least 15 sightings are reported around Dayton. Many witnesses report seeing objects covered with red, green, and blue lights hovering over treetops in the area. A Montgomery County Sheriff's deputy reports seeing an oblong object covered with lights that appeared stationary in the sky at treetop level. Oh my god. For several minutes. That's low, that treetop level, isn't it? Until he tried to shine his cruiser spotlight on it. It then zoomed forward toward him. Oh, toward him? And then shot straight up in the sky. Wright Patterson received a report, but it is unknown what they did about it. What they have done about it. That's crazy. Those are really crazy ones. Like when they're low like that, that'd be weird. See that something like that close up. Um, Troy, Ohio, October 11th. According to an article in the Columbus Dispatch from October 12th, 1973, titled UFO Reports Precede Boom on October 11th, Troy patrolman Early Thomas and about 100 Troy residents said they watched a hovering red, green, and white object move across the southeastern sky. Note, this happens to be the direction of Wright-Patterson. About 15 minutes later, law enforcement agencies in Miami, Champaign, and Logan counties received hundreds of telephone calls after a sonic boom was heard. They received more calls when a second sonic boom was heard just after midnight. The newspapers, unaware of the military activity, say it was most likely comets entering the atmosphere. That doesn't mean it's military activity either. But a woman hysterically tells, this is Boston, Ohio, October 14th. A woman hysterically tells law officers that an oblong object with blinking lights landed in her field in Highland County, killing several of her cows. Well, I wonder what that was. London, Chillicothe, and Greenfield, Ohio, October 16th. A school bus driver sees an orange object hovering above some trees. It glows and completely lights up the area. It eventually moves up and away from the trees. In Chillicothe, motorists are buzzed by 3 luminous objects. About 15 minutes later, Greenfield police officers follow a huge object for about 5 miles. Cincinnati, Ohio, October 17th. Franklin County Sheriff's Office receives between 30 and 40 reports of shiny objects zigzagging through the sky. There's that zigzagging thing again. A police sergeant from near Cincinnati reports chasing a white and yellow craft, later saying, "I never believed in UFOs until tonight." Nice. A family in Hamilton also sees an object half the size of a football field, oh God, flying over their home without making any noise. So those are those crazy stories. So far, with one or two exceptions, all of these reports sound like they can be explained based on what the military was up to at the time. I didn't read that part up there, but like... See, it says here, on October 6, 1973, Egypt and Syria launched a coordinated surprise attack on Israel, starting what became known as the Yom Kippur War. At first, the situation was so dire for Israel that the country aimed 2 nuclear weapons at Cairo and Damascus. Oh, God. Okay. Ready to launch them if Israel was overrun. The nukes were spotted by U.S. spy planes, SR-71 Blackbirds, and in an effort to prevent a nuclear conflict, the U.S. began arming and sending supplies to Israel, known as Operation Nickelgrass, to help push back the enemy and prevent drastic measures. It worked. However, when Israel turned the tide of the war and surrounded the Egyptian army, the General Secretary of the USSR, which had been backing the Arabs in a proxy war with the US, threatened to deploy Soviet troops against Israel. As a result, the U.S. armed forces were placed on DEFCON 3, meaning get the missiles ready, and the world became close to annihilation. Luckily, cooler heads prevailed and peace was made. So during this tense 32-day period between October 15th and November 14th, Operation Nickelgrass saw the Air Force ship 22,325 tons of tanks, artillery, ammunition, and supplies to Israel on 568 separate occasions. Since C-5 cargo airplanes were vital to this mission, one of the most important bases utilized during the operation was Wright-Patterson, which housed the massive aircraft. In the fall of '73, there would have been airplanes coming and going from Wright-Patterson almost nonstop. Okay, well, mostly for reasons that remain classified. So, as the U.S. military orchestrated an extremely complex logistical mission to aid Israel as quickly as possible, utilizing tens of thousands of people and multiple bases throughout the Midwest and beyond, it is no wonder that during this period, UFO sightings skyrocketed in Ohio and across the U.S. Well, and then it says, but were they all military aircraft? And then that's when I read the stuff from the beginning of the video about the National Investigations Committee on Aerial Phenomena and everything that they compiled. It doesn't sound like these were military aircraft, like most of these, like for real though. Like if you go through those, I mean, they don't sound like man-made craft at all to me. But that's just to me. Let's see what it says here. So far, with one or two exceptions, all of these reports sound like they can be explained based on what the military was up to at the time. I actually disagree with that, but I mean, who knows, I guess. Along with pulling off Operation Nickelgrass, the military may have been running large-scale training exercises to prepare for war, which could have involved stealth helicopters and other secret aircraft in the rural countryside. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, I'm sure they did, but like, not all of those reports are military. There's no way. If anyone has ever seen the massive C-5 airplanes at Wright-Patterson conducting quick landing drills, it really is an otherworldly experience. Yeah. The planes are huge, but as they make extreme low sweeps to the ground, they almost appear to become stationary on the horizon. That's just on the horizon, though. It looks completely unreal. Every time the base runs these exercises, they have to notify the local media so people don't become alarmed. Okay, well, I mean, and then regardless, the most famous incident from the Great UFO Wave of '73 is truly strange, and it remains unexplained. It's known as the Coyne Incident. I'll do that in a separate video because it's its own thing. But I just wanted to go through those reports. I thought they were really interesting. Kind of fun to read. I'm sure there's more of them too. I don't think that they're all military aircraft sightings. I think that at least some of them are something else. But that's just how I feel about them. And I'd love to hear what the original eyewitnesses have to say. If they thought that it was military aircraft or not too. That'd be interesting to delve more into that, into those, all those sightings. Um, I'm sure there's more. Maybe I can find more about those later. Um, and as always, like, let me know what you think about these. Like, do you think most of them were military aircraft that people were seeing, or do you think some of them really could be, something else entirely? And, I'm mixed about it. I think some of them might be, and then some of them might not be at all. Um, so yeah, I have mixed feelings about it. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to do this video here, continuing my UFO series on cases from Ohio and other nearby areas. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the various UFO descriptions and or incidents. I did. I enjoyed reading about them. They were all new to me. I didn't read them beforehand, so hopefully we can find some more really interesting incidents. I'm sure that I will, and maybe I'll do another one tonight. I don't know. I'm trying to get my mind off of all this pain that I'm going through, so um, being distracted with these stories definitely helps a little bit. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks for watching.